it could just be hey man, I don't know you. You want to come to a concert in Charlotte real quick?
Oh yeah, I know that one well. That's how we became friends.
That's how we became friends.
That's what's up.
That was October your freshman year.
That was so weird.
It was the day before Halloween. Yeah, it was Surfaces concert. So
Surfaces, that must have been fire.
It was a good concert.
I'm not even gonna lie. I had no clue who they were. I had no clue who these guys were.
Yeah.
And so we have a mutual friend. His name is Nate Hohensay. And he had invited me. He's like, "Hey, there's
I love Nate.
Yeah, okay.
I love Nate.
Perfect.
I've just never heard anyone pronounce his last name.
It's Hohensay, but
I try. Okay,
yeah,
I try.
it's not.
Okay.
Said it with that French, bro. Put a little accent aigu on it. Yes, sir.
They don't pronounce the H's in
That's
French.
crazy.
But,
Okay, whatever. I'm American. I'm gonna say it that way.
you speak your truth, bro.
Say it in American.
No, but so Nate randomly goes like, "Hey, Steven, you want to go to a concert by chance?" I like concerts. Concerts are fun. I'll go to a concert, right? And so he's like, "It's this band called Surfaces," and I'm just, I have no clue who these guys are, but I'll go to a concert. I'm not gonna say no to a concert. And he's like, "It's a free concert," and that really got me into it. And so he's like, "Oh, I have another buddy who's going with me," and lo and behold, it's James. And in the car ride, he and Nate are geeking out about a couple of their songs. Like they know them, they're familiar with them. And I'm sitting in the back of the car like, what is going on? But then it ended up being really fun because we got there. Coincidentally, we had VIP passes. I didn't know this.
So you're missing a little bit of context was, so Nate and I know each other because we went to high school together. And Nate and I, we live literally a mile and a half away from each other back home. So like we became friends Nate's sophomore year, my junior year of high school. And you know, we hung out all the time. Obviously we found out we had shared interests in, I would go over to his house. We'd play Super Smash Bros or whatever. We'd listen to Surfaces, and he got me into.
You listen to Surfaces and play Smash Bros,
bro. No.
Daily
hard. It went hard. It really did.
I believe you.
So that summer, I found out they were going on tour. They were going to be in Charlotte, and they were playing the day of or the day after Nate's birthday, his 19th birthday.
This is right.
And so I was like, well, I like Surfaces. He likes Surfaces. And one of my other friends, Carly Zimmerman. Yeah. She really likes Surfaces too.
Oh, yeah.
So I called both of them over the summer. I was like, hey, Surfaces is coming to Charlotte.
Yeah.
I want to buy tickets to the concert.
Right.
I'll buy them. You guys pay me back. And then just so we can have tickets to go. And it worked out because it was right around Nate's birthday.
Yeah.
And then anyway, fast forward through the summer, Carly wasn't sure if she was going to be able to swing it. And then I was like, all right, well, I had the tickets.
Right.
So I'm trying to find somebody else to go.
Thanks.
Kind of fast forward to that point in time. And I was going to surprise Nate. I had bought VIP passes so we could take pictures with the guys and for his birthday. So that was the whole deal. So fast forward to kind of what Steven was talking about. Nate got a hold of him. We drove down. I was playing the music in the car so he could hear something before we showed up.
Into it, yeah.
Right.
Hate going to a concert not knowing anything.
Yeah, it is. It's a little,
Yeah. Why
awkward.
is everyone excited? Yes.
Yeah, right. It's just no, but I mean, I thought it was probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I've been to some really good concerts, but it was just the energy was all over the place. And since then, I've made friends because I found out we had met some other High Point students who went to the concert.
Yeah. The people right in front of me.
And I found out some of those people, we kind of run in the same circles. They're an APO with me or whatever. And I'm like, oh wait, you're wearing the same tan sweatshirt that we all got. And I was like, and they were like, oh yeah, I got it at the concert. I was like, which one? The one in Charlotte. I was like, oh, you're that person. And they're like, oh my gosh, whatever. So, love live music. Being a musician, live music is one of the greatest gifts I think I can give to this world.
Ooh.
So,
bro, we gonna get into that, bro. We gonna get into all that. That's a great segue, man. Without further ado. Okay, so my boy Jassim, he made this beat. He's a producer.
Are you serious?
Shout out to Jassim, bro.
I also shout out to Jassim.
Yo, bro.
Very good.
I'm Odd man out this time, I guess. Yeah? Yeah, can't say I know.
Hold on a second.
Oh, no,
It's good.
I don't know him. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, okay, all right. No.
No, but he did his thing with the speed, bro. I'm telling you. So, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crooked Sticks, the community of conversation. I'm your host, Gabriel Brown. Welcome back, y'all. It's good to be back. It's been a minute. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to record an episode live with some guests. Busy with school, busy with the bag. So, we got to make some sacrifices. And unfortunately, this was one of them. But y'all, we're back here. We're back, and I have two new guests on the show. We got something excited for y'all planned today. And so without further ado, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey, James Sandoval, Jr., double major in music and IR from Severn, Maryland.
What's up, guys? My name's Stephen. I'm Stephen Casey. I'm from Texas. I'm an Army kid. It's kind of funny. Everyone, you see the ROTC jokes online on TikTok. It doesn't really help my breed, but
that's crazy.
I try.
He said, "Listen, that's me, guys. That's me."
What's that smell? No, we're good. I'm not. I took my shower today. Don't you worry. But
I would hope so.
I'm excited to be here.
I would hope so.
Is that burning crayons I smell?
No. We're good. I promise.
Okay, that's nice. So, musician, ROTC.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got some questions about that for both of y'all. Who wants to go first? All right, James, you're up.
All right.
Swing better.
You said something as soon as we started, and you said something. I was like, dang, I felt that. So we just got to carry on with that.
Okay.
You said you feel like your gift to the world. Is that the word you use? Gift to the world?
Yeah.
Gift to the world is to bring music, use music, share music. What verb needs to go there?
Man, music is a language. We talk about music every day. Like in my life, I can't go anywhere without music being a part of it. If it's waking up in the morning and I listen to music in the shower, and then it's listening to something else when I'm either biking or driving to school, throughout the day, walking between classes. I mean, the promenade's always playing classical music too. Think about that. Music is such an integral part of our lives, and it's a language that we all speak, but sometimes we all get a little too caught up in because we don't like the same artists, we don't like the same songs, we don't know the artists that each other like. We're just talking right past each other.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said of I'm not a big fan of just describing myself as I just like pop music or whatever it is, because sometimes I don't build playlists off of moods per se. I just go off of sometimes I want to listen to music that I like, and it can range literally from music that I'm working on for my rep for my recital I just gave. So, I'll have French and German opera coming on in my ear. And then the next second I'm listening to NF off of his new album or something. Right. So it really runs the gamut for me. But kind of circling back around to what you were talking about is as a musician, as a singer, and even before when I started in band, on the saxophone, there is always such a rush that you get when you're performing and just you are creating something that exists that long and then it's gone. The impermanence of the art of music is what makes it beautiful, because you can't capture it. You can record it. And that's why nothing will ever be as good for me as live music. Because music that comes through you on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to, Pandora, I don't care. It's produced. It's gone through filtering or auto-tune or note correction or note value correction. And it's made to be pristine and beautiful.
Yeah.
But there is beauty in the imperfections in the music that you don't get because you're not looking at somebody who's standing on a stage pouring out their heart and soul, because what they're doing is what they love doing. And that's why I've stuck with it, because when I get on a stage, and it can be a choir concert, it could be a dance concert, it could be a theater performance, because I'm doing what I love and I'm putting all of my heart and soul into that I think is where there's this true beauty of using the gift that I've been given.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I want to continue doing that for the rest of my life. But
yeah, brother.
Yeah.
You know, when I guess there's those events where it's like, oh, you had to be there. You had to be there to understand it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the same with music, especially live music. Because I know every time anyone posts on their Snapchat story that they're at a concert, they're going to throw 100 videos up there and all of them sound off. None of them sound good because you can't control. I mean, I guess it's the phone, but it can never capture the way the music actually sounds live. You know, the mix of speakers, the mix of everything around you. The phone cannot capture it, and it just sounds like an ear-piercing screech, or it's really, really dull.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So I can completely agree with that, because I know if I record a video of a concert and I listen to it when I'm not at the concert, I'm like, well, that's lame. That's not at all what it paid for. That's not at all what it sounded like.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound the same.
Yeah.
But at the concert, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. This is incredible. And, then I'm on my phone like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Or like when people post like all the like videos of the concert on Snapchat or something, and it's like a 2-hour marathon, just clicking next.
But none of them sound good. It's
None of
just
them
like,
sound
it's
good.
like how did it
What
go
noise was
from
that?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like right there. It just doesn't sound good.
No, I feel that, brother. Oh man, that's good, bro. We're off to a good start. That's what's up. So I like what you said about the impermanence of creativity through music. That's deep, bro. I mean, like, you said the impermanence.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Honor scholar over here.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Bro, no. Not even close, bro.
Nah, bro, but the vocab was hitting today. We got to talk about that. So, I'm going to carry that all the way through the entire episode,
Okay.
All right. So, when I need a good word, I'm going to look to you. Just come in.
No, right.
Yeah. All right.
I'll pull my thesaurus out.
There you go. Yeah, so impermanence. Whoa. That's what's up, man.
Start using the word wrong in sentences.
Just whatever it is, impermanence.
The impermanence of the cat food today.
It's crazy, bro. That cat food is impermanent, though. Is he talking about it? It can do some impermanental damage on your stomach. Eat that impermanental food. Permanently cooked chicken.
Yep.
That chicken always got like a medium rare gradient going on, bro. It's crazy.
Yep.
I think it's nothing short of saying like you obviously put on this earth to sing and create. Bottom line, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
So that was something, that's the reason. Well, I fought that as the reason that led me to being a double major in college.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved international relations. I did Model UN at our high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great time with it. Really got like interested in it, and I've traveled my fair share. Really lucky to have done everything I've done. And I was like, this is something interesting to me that I was like, I might want to consider studying that further and doing that in college. But I was originally not going to major in music. I was minoring in it at best.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got here that like the faculty were like, oh, like if you minor in music, it's still the same class as your freshman year. So just declare the major. And so I came in as a declared double major.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to kind of where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of the month, the 1st of April, I gave my junior recital, which is the first half of my capstone for my major. And that was a 30-minute performance of just me with a piano. Dang. One of the scariest things I've ever had to do for a performance, because it's like, it's just you up there. And I'm in a room, friends and family, people who love and care about me. But I was still so nervous because I was like, I need to do well. I need to perform and do the best that I've ever done.
Yeah.
And since then, talking with my teacher who was in the room, and people, they were like, that was the best I've ever heard you perform. And in my lesson yesterday, my teacher was like, it excites me about the thought of where you can go from here. And up until fairly recently, I was still kind of under this, IR is still what I want to do. I can't make a life off of music. I can't make money off of music, whatever. And something recently, I think that switch has started to flip where that doesn't matter, because if I wasn't doing music, I wouldn't be doing what I love.
Yeah.
And that has been a really hard thing for me to come to terms with, saying, I need to just start doing what I love and not pushing that off.
Yeah.
But
amen to that. That's good, bro. I'm glad that clicked for you.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like I'm moving in a better direction. I feel a little bit more like I have a sense of direction now than I did previously. So.
Yeah. I feel that, man. That's good. I want to come back to that. Stephen, you're up.
I'm up.
Right. So, ROTC.
Shoot. Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to say why the military, but why the military?
No, it is a fair question.
I mean, I have family who serve, and do you come from people who serve in your family as well? Or?
I'm going to start it off, and that's a pretty defining feature. You know, I joked with teachers my whole life that like most kids got like, some cute little nice bedtime story, and mine was like my dad being like, and this is what I did to fight the Taliban. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay. But no, it's
no Magic Treehouse.
Yeah, no. There's no Jack and Annie.
Got Black Hawk Down every night.
I was shooting at my helicopter. No, but Dad, I'm free. What's going on over here? No. So my every guy in my family has served in the military, at least as far as like. I don't consider my cousin, he's my age. I don't consider him like, a grown adult male.
Right.
But my uncle, both my grandparents, my dad, or both my grandpas, my dad, and then my second uncle, all of them have served. So it was, in a way, it feels like continuing a family business, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. However,
none of them ever forced that on me. They were never over like, this is what we did. This is what you have to do. It was just kind of understood my whole life that like they had all served. And I was like, that sounds interesting. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think I would have. The main reason service became so big to me was I learned that, well, my parents essentially said, hey, we're not helping you through college. Like now that you're 18 years old, you're going to be financially responsible for yourself. You have your taxes, you have your loans, you have everything. They've raised me like that my whole life, so it wasn't new, it wasn't unexpected, it wasn't like I was kicked out. But it was very much so like, hey, if you want it, you got to go get it. Like we're not gonna, while they could probably cover me financially, they're like, no, that's not how we were raised, that's not how we're raising you, we don't give handouts. So like if you want college, go earn it. And so that's what I went and did. I started pursuing scholarship opportunities. I wanted to play rugby and football really, really bad. Those are the two sports I played my entire life, or football more so than rugby. But rugby I picked up in high school, loved it, and I was able to go play at a semi-pro level for a little bit. Absolutely love both sports. Absolutely love them both. However, rugby scholarships are incredibly hard to get. They don't really do full rides. It's more so, 2 or 3 year. They'll cover half. They cover tuition, but they don't cover housing. And while it's nice, I'm like, I really want to go for that 4 year. I really, really want to go for that 4 year. And then football, I had preferred walk-ons everywhere. The problem is at my high school, like I'm talking, my high school is where Baker Mayfield came from. It's from where Cameron Dicker came from, who's now the kicker, I believe, for the Rams. I think that sounds right. He's doing pretty good. But and then, so it's just NFL players, and Garrett Wilson, who just won NFL Rookie of the Year, wide receiver. I played with him I was a center when I was a sophomore. It's wild. But like we just breed athletes and ship them out. So the problem is when I'm like not the biggest kid there, not like the strongest kid there by any means, you just get overlooked. So it was like impossible to get a full ride. You know, if I'd gone to a smaller school, probably could have for football because I would have, looked better.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there surrounded by like Ohio State and Alabama coaches. I'm like, I'm not making it to these schools. What's going on here? Yeah. So I got overlooked for that. And then I was like, all right, so those are gone. What's left? And I knew it was like, all right, I have academics. I'm decently fit because I have to play in 2 sports, because rugby at least requires a lot of running. Yeah. So I was like, shoot, okay. Where does this go from here? And I went and I pursued all the academies. I pursued all the ROTC scholarships I could get. And at this time, it's also kind of important to note, while you might not believe it, I probably don't sound like it. At one point I was about 280 pounds, 290 pounds, and I'm about 6'1" maybe if I really, really stretched and I, hung off the monkey bars for a little bit today. Right. Then I might be 6'1".
That spine's for sure. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but no, I'd been a real big guy. So I got into West Point, I got into Air Force, and I got into Navy. However, when it was physical fitness time, they're like, oh, wait a minute, bud. Hold those horses. You're a little big boy. Yeah. So they kind of overlooked me. I was like, well, that's not good. And that was my hope. Thankfully, ROTC is like, hey, we will go out on a limb. We'll trust that you can lose, you can lose some weight. We'll trust you on that. Because like the rest of my profile was outstanding. It was like, all right, we trust you on this aspect. If you can follow through with this, you have 4 years guaranteed. If you can't, we essentially can revoke it. And I took him on the offer. I was like, well, this is the best I'm going to get. High Point accepted me as well. So I was like, all right, guess we'll try that. And then now I am definitely not 280 pounds. I'm about like 198, about 9% body fat, totally different guy. So now we're good. Now I'm locked in. Yeah. But the real reason for military, I know, long backstory, but the real reason for it is the only way I could have gotten to college. So that's what I'm doing it. But at the same time, I have no complaints. I'm pretty involved in it, and I really like it. My family definitely helped with that.
Yeah. What part of the branch are you think? I don't really know how this works, but like what branch of the military? Does ROTC feed into like one specific branch, or do you get to choose?
So there's different ROTCs, right? We at High Point we offer both Army and we offer Air Force. Okay. I'm in Army. Am I kind of biased on Army? Yeah, my dad was, my grandpa was. The grandfather I'm closest with. The other one passed away, but them two were both Army, so I was like, if I follow this makes sense. All right. Yeah. But yeah, so I've been very biased for Army. My dad went to West Point, so like everything in my house is involved Army. So I was just already like a fan. I was like, oh, I already know Army. I like Army, Yeah. So Army, and then now, so there's a different thing. So so I'm in Army, and then once I graduate, and it's called commissioning in the military, that's when I then pick a like specific division of the Army that I go into. Yeah. So there's a lot. There's all sorts of things. I'll be an officer, which is really nice because I kind of keeps me off of being the guy holding all the big guns, because I want to fly helicopters, which is called aviation. That's what I'd really, really like to do. I know normally when you think of the Army, you just think of a bunch, same probably with the Marine Corps, you think of a bunch of dudes in a field holding rifles, running around, shooting at bad guys. Surprising, that is one area of the Army, and there's like 15 others that have nothing to do with that. It's like all the logistician guys that are like making sure like, oh, this is in the right place. The transportation people being like, okay, no, your tank is there, your Humvee's there. There's so much. But then I heard about aviation. I'm like, oh, I want to fly. Sounds awesome. I'll go fly a helicopter with missiles and destroy everything. It sounds, obviously I have no clue if that's how it's going to turn out. Right. That's what I want to do.
I understand. I got you.
That'd be a dream come true. Flying sounds so fun.
That's sick. So I got a nice little backstory, you guys. That's good. Yeah. I like that. Do you know when it is you enlist?
Okay. Technically, as of right now, because I have like my military ID and everything, I'm considered active duty at the moment. I'm considered an E5 sergeant, which is I would have had to be serving So there's enlisted and there's officers. Enlisted men and officer. The only difference is that officers have a college degree or have gone through some sort of special training program to, like, if you were an enlisted man, to make you an officer. Since I jumped straight in, I'm technically considered an enlisted man because I haven't actually graduated, but they have me as a pretty high rank because officer pay is higher. So I'm like already kind of up there, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Because I don't actually, I haven't actually been doing much, but I have like the equivalent of having been in like 6 or 7 years and being promoted like 4 times. So it's not a bad deal right now. It's kind of nice. Good. It's nice as a college student.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Word.
I know when they gave me my ID.
No, I mean, like that's sick. Like, I have like a lot of family. I have a cousin in the Navy, and then a cousin in the Marines. My dad served in the Army. My uncle served in the Navy as well, I think. There's more.
You'll get it.
I'm not sure where it is, but I think there's more. But that's the immediate stuff that I can think of right now.
No, it was pretty funny because I was waiting in line to get my ID like about a month ago, and they're like, all right, here you go, and they gave it to me. I look at my rank. I'm like, oh, no way, I'm an E5. Are you kidding me? Like if people have enlisted into the Army and they are younger than like 26 years old, I am technically their superior as a college student. Like, that's awesome.
Oh, wow. It's going to take some getting used to for some people. That's crazy.
I can go find, the biggest, scariest looking guy and be like, excuse me, do a push-up for me, why don't you? Of course, I'm not actually going to know.
I don't know where that voice came out of, bro. I wasn't ready for that.
Oh, no. It'd be so bad. Little Kermit. Hello there. No. How you doing there, Sergeant? Oh no, it's so bad, but it's pretty funny. No, I'm really excited for the real thing now. I have a lot to look forward to it.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that. Word. So, do you know what Crooked Sticks is about?
I'm not gonna lie. I know you told me the name, but I never think we got into it because we just had started talking that one night.
Perfect. Do you know what it's about? Perfect again. All right. So
that's 2 for 2.
Crooked Sticks. Crooked Sticks. Is the verse, the Bible. This name comes from the Bible, and it's a prophecy of Isaiah.
Okay.
Talking about the coming of Jesus, right? And so, you know what? While we just talking about this, let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys so you can read it off right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna misquote what we got going on. Google Chrome is taking its sweet time. But basically, in Isaiah is giving, so he's a prophet. He's giving prophecies about where God stands with Israel, where God stands with his people, but also what he's going to do about it, right? Which is the coming of Jesus. And so the idea of crooked sticks comes from, like, God uses crooked sticks to draw straight lines, right? And
you did say that.
Yeah, uses imperfect people for perfect plans, perfect moments, all things considered. And so it's Isaiah 42. Verse 16, and it says, I will bring the blind by a way they did not know. I will lead them in paths they have not known. I will make darkness light before them and the crooked places straight. These things I will do for them and not forsake them. And so that is where this whole podcast is about. It's about really something as simple as just like talking about your stories and where you guys come from. There's a lot that people can learn from that, right? Myself included. And I think also it puts an interesting perspective on the fact that when people think of Christianity, people think of God, they often feel like they need to come to God like already perfect and already fully whole and fully this and fully that, which is actually the whole point of Jesus, is to actually bring that wholeness to us, right? Because if we were already whole, what would be the point of having Jesus in the first place?
Why would we go?
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's really the point of this. And what you guys were talking about in your stories really resonated with me is, I guess this is the level of like meaning it has to you guys, right? Like, I think these stories are like very unique. Like, you talked about your meaning of music and how much that is like important for you, right? But it's also like a meaning very deep rooted to where it's like people can't really take that away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with you. I mean, like, even like your upbringing of this determination and like motivation and like serious drive you have, that just, one thing's just spiraling to another. Started with sports and then here you are.
Yeah, that determination was not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Give it 2 years ago.
Can you talk about that?
Way, absolutely. Yeah, sure. So, so like I had said earlier, you know, I was a big kid, like 280, and I looked like a bowling ball. You could probably, you know, bowl a perfect 300 game with me.
Okay.
I would have rolled straight down that alley. It was bad. It was bad, dude. I was a big old boy. Okay. Stop laughing. It was the truth. It was the truth. I was a big old boy. And so, at least for me, part of like obesity was just to the fact where like I didn't like the way I looked, and rather than doing anything about it, for some reason I was like, something's not good today. I'm just gonna eat, and that'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
It was a what do they call it? A negative feedback loop. Something goes bad, I do something worse. Something goes bad, I do something worse. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
There was no there was no willpower behind it. Like literally, I have distinct memories of sitting there like playing video games or watching a TV show.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, wow, I'm eating a bowl of ice cream. That's really bad. And then I'd get mad at myself. Rather than putting that ice cream down though, I would take another bite. And then I get more mad at myself. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it didn't make sense. And it really, when I finally, so now fast forward a little bit till senior year, like I said, football didn't go, rugby didn't go for scholarships. Yeah. And so when neither went, it was so weird to me because for the first time ever, I'm like, I'm really realizing like, wow, I'm stranded. I am seriously in you know, some deep doo-doo if I don't figure this out, get out of this. And when West Point, because that was where I wanted to go. That had been my number one school. When they had finally come back to me and been like, hey bud, sorry, but you're big. Like it was the truth. You know, I can't get mad at them for being correct. I mean, it's the Army. You got to be fit. You got to be physically fit enough to help the guys next to you. Like if someone were to get, you know, say something crazy, we were in battle all of a sudden, someone were to go down and I can't drag my own weight. How am I supposed to help them? You know? So it made sense, unfortunately for me at the time.
Yeah.
And that was a total shock to my system. So much so that one day I'd kind of just been sitting there kind of looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, what is the point of me being big? Like, what's the point of all this? If I just allow myself to be cool with how my life is at the moment, I just kind of like, I literally took a notebook out and I just wrote down, I was like 280. Right. And then I literally just wrote like every single thing that it would hurt that I want in the next couple of years. Cause I was like, wow, I want to go to college. It's like, if I stay this weight, I'm not getting a scholarship. So I wrote that down and then it'd be like, all right, I want to be healthy. 280, big. Wrote that down. Like that takes care of that. And then additionally, part of me being so mad at myself made me mad at other people, specifically my little brother, who now is the most important person in my life because I want to keep him, you know, I want him to be doing well in high school. I want him to be successful. There's nothing more than I wish in the world is for him to be doing good in everything he wants to be. But it was such a problem for me because when I was in high school, I was just a bully to him. And I wrote that down on the list too. I was like, his name's Sean. I was like, I bully Sean. If I stay the same, that's going to happen forever. I'm not going to have a relationship with him. He's just going to think of me as, you know, this total not cool guy. Like forget him, like respectfully forget him. And I'm like, there's no way I can keep that up because my little brother, because I started watching him get into the same things I had struggled with. Like he all of a sudden started going down the same dark path. And it's just like, I can't let that happen. Like I can't be the reason my whole family were to go like kaput because I don't want to go to ACC is Austin Community College. Yeah. Like it's like the basic party school, yada, yada, that most of my buddies went to. And I was like, there's no way I'm going here. Like, no way. I want to leave. I want to do something with my life. Yeah. So once everything was compiled, I just was like, I gotta change it. And so I made my lock screen on my phone, prove West Point wrong. And I literally sat there. I went to I made my parents really mad by doing this, but I went in there. I found every possible food I knew I would want to eat that just wasn't good for me. All the soda, all the everything. Mm-hmm. I just grabbed it, like even if it wasn't opened yet. Mm-hmm. Like I said, made my parents really mad by doing this. I probably wasted exactly what money. I grabbed everything and went to the dumpster it goes and tossed it in there. And I just refused to let myself touch it. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, and for the first time, I was like, all right, I feel like I have control on something for once. So then I was like, all right, forget this. Turned off the video games, turned off everything. I was like, I'm gonna sit down and read. I'm gonna sit down and be outside. Just whatever I could do that was just taking myself away from the environment I'd put myself in for 18 years. And all of a sudden, stuff got better dramatically. All of a sudden, my little brother was excited to see me when he got back. And I started I actually watched weight shed. A fun thing is, or not a fun thing, but an interesting thing is when you're so big, there's a point where it can literally be lost and converted into muscle incredibly fast if you're willing to just do it. It's actually shocking. I was able to lose 40 pounds in about 2 months just because it was dead weight. It was doing nothing. And my muscle was able to just be like, oh, okay, I want this, and it just transformed. It was actually insane. Yeah. I think there's part of a reason why people always do like the bulk and cut method because it's so easy to convert it over. While it's a total mental challenge because you have to be like, oh, I'm not touching anything. Yeah. But it works. It works incredibly efficiently. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not a double X anymore. I'm an XL. Like, whoa, let's go. And so over the course of a summer, all of a sudden ROTC is like, we'll accept you. Like, come on. We'll allow you in. And that started transforming. Like everything transformed for the better. Of course, though, I was like, I'm not about to give it up. Yeah. Because like in my eyes, essentially, it was like if I stop any one of these steps, it could just go all right back. And now it's a great fear of mine. It's why I'm super, super consistent with everything. And I try and get rid of media, get rid of everything. So I can just be like, all right, what are the things I like? I'm going to focus on them. But it had been such a challenge. And now I have the determination, but I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the shock of, if I don't change something now, I mean, in the back of my mind is like, if I don't change something now, I die. I will go down a road I don't want to go down, that I know the Lord did not plan for me. I know God wasn't making me. It's like community college. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yes, sir. Steve. I was like, there's no way. Yeah. There's no way. That's what it was. I was like, my brother's fit. My parents are fit. There's no way. He looked at me. He's like, no, not you. No, I was like, there's no way. And then it's just depression. I'm like, there's no way the Lord wants that. Of course he didn't. Because I was just caught up in the wrong stuff. I wasn't even looking at him. I'd go to church and I'd sit there being like, I'm hungry. Like, that's not what I want to be thinking in church. I want to be like, wow, look at the world around. It's just, it was so crazy. Now I can't, every day I look up, I get up, look at myself in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth or whatnot. Just like, wow, you're not done. There's more. But it's at the same time, it's like, at least you did it. Because like now it's all, photos, the photo app will like pop up old stuff and you're looking like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that's what I look like. Yeah. Now that I'm not that, it's hard. Obviously, I'm not sure if you've heard this, but there's a study that said if you were walking on the street and you're like your doppelganger, same looks like you, walked past you would not recognize them just because you don't really think about it. You don't see yourself the way other people do. So now that when I get a look back, I'm like, who is that guy? I wouldn't recognize him at all. It's crazy, but it was a pretty long, it was a pretty long walk to get to that determination, but it was an interesting event for sure. Yeah. I still fight it, but there was a lot with that thing. Oh my goodness. I can go on forever, but I don't want to take spotlight from James. I know you have stuff to share too, bud.
And that will do it, guys. Thank you for tuning in to part 1 of this episode. It's a pleasure to be back in 2023 coming strong. If you guys want to listen to more, do not worry. Part 2 will be released, so I'm more than happy to share that with you guys. In the meantime, check out some of our other popular episodes like Object of Faith Part 1 and 2 with special guests Jim and Karen Smith. If you guys are new to the Crooked Six family, guys, go check out our Instagram page. We are very active on there. Shoot us a DM. We will respond. If you enjoyed listening to this, don't forget to leave a like. Share this with someone who you might think might find this very insightful and may need the direction. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you and shine his face upon you. May he be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace into this coming week. All right, y'all. See y'all in the next one.